everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'll be showing you what we received in the Sophie and Toffee August Elves box, as well as show you how to make some fast food cat designs or figurines using the supplies included. So in this box we received some takeaway box molds, a hamburger silicone mold, a soda cup and lids mold, a cup noodle mold, a silicone mold for French fries, and also one for some nuggets. We received 4 colours of UV resin, a sticker sheet, gold hoop and stud earrings, and a gold bracelet. So first up, I'm going to be creating the cat in the little munch box or the share box. So here I've taken the takeaway box silicone mold as well as the red opaque resin, and I'm just pouring this into the mold and trying my best to run it down the sides by gently squeezing it. I then cured this under my UV light and removed it from the mold. I'm now moving on to creating the nuggets and the chips or fries. So to do this, I'm going to be using the yellow opaque resin that came in the box. And to give my French fries a little bit more of a golden fried color, I'm firstly dusting the mold with some of my golden chalk pastel mixture before then adding in the yellow resin and curing this under my UV light. I then took the resin out a little bit early so that it was still kind of tacky, and I applied some more on the top side of the French fries, and then again I went and cured them before removing them from the mold. So to fill up the share box, I did have to make a few batches of these French fries, so I just went ahead and repeated all those steps. Now moving on to making the nuggets, I firstly began with the yellow UV resin, and this time I'm actually mixing in my chalk pastels to try and get that nugget color that I'm after. I then poured this resin mixture into the mold and cured it under my UV light, and then this is what they look like. I really love how this mold includes a regular shaped nugget as well as some cute little dinosaur nuggets. So that I didn't have to fill up my takeaway box the whole way with chips and nuggets, I'm adding a layer of resin down the bottom, and I'm just coloring this yellow so that way I won't have to make as many little takeaway pieces to go inside. Now you can see that I've moved on to making the cat using polymer clay. So I'm using white polymer clay for this design, and I've attached the head onto the body, and then here I'm just blending down both of the ears. I gave this cat a very happy looking expression, which I'm doing using thin pieces of black polymer clay which I rolled out, and then of course I added the little whiskers on either side of the face as well. I took the takeaway box and I used this to kind of measure how tall I need the cat to be so that it looks like it was sticking out the top, and then I just trimmed off a little bit of the body. I added a tail to the side of my cat, and then here I'm just creating some little paws which I'm going to bake separately, and these are going to look like they're popping out of the French fries. So after baking, I noticed that my cat was still a little too high for my liking, so I ended up sanding it down a little bit using some sandpaper. Then here I'm using my UV resin as a glue. I firstly attached the cat in the center of the piece, and then I'm going ahead and adding all the little French fries along with the 2 front paws so that they're peeking out. And then finally I just needed to add all the nuggets and kind of spread them around inside the snack box. I then took some of the red resin and I just put it on a sheet of baking paper, and I'm just adding this to the top of the cat's head, and it's meant to look like some tomato sauce or ketchup if you're from other countries. Then for a little logo, I actually used my Cricut cutting machine and some yellow vinyl, and this little logo is just a simple heart to go on the front of the box, very similar to an existing company's design, and I'm sure you can probably guess which one that is. So here is what my little munch box or share box cat looks like. I'm really happy with this design and how it turned out, and I think my fries and nuggets turned out looking pretty delicious. Next up, I'm going to be creating the soft drink or soda design. So for this one, I'm starting off with the white opaque resin, and in between each little layer, I'm actually going ahead and curing it rather than pouring it all straight in. That way, all the resin cures evenly rather than pouring it all in at once and the middle not being exposed to any light, which can happen with very opaque colors of resin. I then decided that I wanted this to be a Fanta flavoured soft drink, so here I'm creating a mixture using some orange chalk pastel shavings and orange glitter. I mixed that all together and then I poured it into the lid mould with the ice cube design, and then this is what it looks like once it's been popped out of the mould. I'm then using some UV resin as a glue, so I just popped in the ice cube Fanta mixture into the silicone cup and cured them together. For the cat on this design, I've gone with some grey polymer clay, and I gave the little face on this one a little tongue. To help me attach the polymer clay onto the resin, I'm going to be using some Scolby Bacon Bond liquid clay. So I attached the cat onto the side of the soft drink, and then I also added on some legs using the liquid clay on the front and the back of the design as well. I of course also attached on a tail to the cat's body. I then went ahead and baked the whole thing in my oven, and you can see that I used a little piece of foil to help me hold it up so that the cat wouldn't slide off. After baking, I glazed the cat on the side, and then I also added the little heart logo by cutting some yellow vinyl with my Cricut machine. So this is what the final design looks like. This one is a lot simpler, but I still really like it. The only downside is that the clay on the face ended up getting a little crack on it, and I didn't notice until I had already glazed it, so I couldn't really do any repairs. We are now moving on to the very last design, which is going to be the burger. So here I've taken the burger silicone mold and I'm just adding my UV resin to all the pieces that I need. So I've got some red tomatoes, yellow cheese, and then I've made a vibrant green mixture for the lettuce because I felt like the green that came straight from the UV resin bottle was a little bit too dark for my liking. To create the color of the bun, I also mixed a custom color using my chalk pastel shavings. I then used brown polymer clay this time to make the cat, which is going to act as the patty in the burger. So this is a little bit of a different cat design compared to the other two cats that I've already made in this video. Once everything was prepared, it was then just a matter of assembling it all together, and I'm using UV resin as a glue to do this. You will notice that all of the pieces have a hole in the center, and this was originally there so that they could all be lined up at the bottom of the burger, but I didn't put any resin into this part of the burger mold because otherwise the cat wouldn't fit in my design. So here is what the finished piece looks like, and you can see that I've also glazed the cat with some resin as well. So that is everything for this video tutorial. I always love combining a polymer clay with the molds and the project ideas that come in the Sophie and Toffee boxes, so I had a lot of fun making these 3 designs today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!